Alrighty, day 2 done in the books. So pretty much just got back from the gym, just did light cardio and a sauna because I did weights this morning. But in terms of the business, today was a bit of a quieter day, but not so much in the sense that work didn't get done. It was just a lot of more thinking rather than some actual ground that's been covered. So where it stands now is that I'm establishing to go back out into the peninsula next week, hopefully on the Thursday and the Friday, just because I can't go for the full 3 days this time because I actually have work, which sucks, but oh well, that's life. And then from what I gathered today, one of the health shops is happy to potentially work with me on stocking whatever products I can come up with. So I'm actually waiting to actually send them an email back on what kind of products I can do for them. There's also a potential lady who does scented candles, which would like to be interested in seeing just what kind of ingredients, herbs and spices that are up for offer and the prices. So there's some progress made in terms of getting in touch with people. And the next step now is to just do a little bit of digging and see what kind of natural medicine or natural healer practitioners, whatever you want to call them, are actually in Adelaide, and see if I can start sending them some emails tonight to then follow up with them tomorrow morning with a call or either walk into their practice. So because I've got a few things going on tomorrow, I'm not going to be able to actually do the runs in terms of walking around so much, but I'll try and do as much as I can. But I actually had time to spend a bit more time to read the book that I'm actually reading, which is Discourses and Selective Writings by Epictetus. So, philosophy book. And I actually spent a fair time reading it today, maybe about 2-3 hours, and got through pretty much half the book. And that's just because typically I was meant to be doing a book a week, and so between the trip and then a few other things that had happened, it kind of got pushed to the back of my mind. So I'm sort of playing catch up, just so that when I go for the new trip, I've actually got a new book to take with me this time. So there's that as well. But then other than that, today's been a bit of a quieter day, but obviously, like I said, I'm going to make sure that I can do these every single day just to be able to track it, document it, and have it journaled. But regardless of whether there's been immense progress made, it's kind of summed up similar how I've seen the progress made this whole year, with the fact that it's just the small things, doing them every day, and that's what matters. Making sure that you're holding yourself accountable. And by me doing this, yeah, this is showing everyone my journey eventually if more people see these videos, but I don't care about that. This is more just the fact, like I said before, documenting it. And this really does hold me accountable. So making sure that I'm actually the person that is actively saying this out loud to the camera. And because of that, I have to follow through with what I'm saying. And obviously I'm going to try and do that anyway, but saying it out loud, putting it in film, and then even posting it, that's just solidifying that I really need to make sure that I pull my head in. So really, with that said, there's not really much else to document today apart from the fact that obviously what I've already spoken about, and just similar with what I'm going to do tomorrow, with send a few more emails, hopefully go to these practitioners tomorrow. Like I said, I'm going to make sure that I do some training tomorrow. Now, because I've got some family things during the day, I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have afterwards. So the idea is that maybe I can just spend the rest of the night on the books trying to figure out some products and maybe get in contact with this business from the peninsula. Hopefully I can get a hold of her. There's been a bit of trouble just with the fact of sending an email and a message. Maybe I have to call her, see how I go. But hopefully the idea is that I can establish a product list, a price list of how much she gets it for and how much she wants to mark up, and then also what she can do in terms of her special expertise. That way I have a little bit to work with, and so then I can actually start giving some information back to these suppliers. But that actually reminded me as well. Another interesting thing that I actually want to work on is actually when I go out to the Yorke Peninsula again, I want to be able to get in contact with a lot of the breweries there, just to see if I can try and push them to mix with obviously these herb and spices products, to try and bring their own signature beer out for maybe the small towns or just the overall peninsula, because I know they do a bit of brewing over there. Or even I want to see if they potentially either know someone or if they could do it, because I'm potentially looking to try and get a coffee drink out there. So obviously you got the iced coffee, and then if you're Australian watching this, you would have seen the little Boss cans, the ones that are incredibly difficult to stomp. You probably break your foot trying to stomp those cans, but similar to that in the aspect of more health orientated. So I'm not sure if you've heard of Bulletproof coffee. So it's essentially MCT oil, which helps with brain function, and you find it in coconut oil. And so basically that mixed with unsalted butter and then just shots of coffee. So that mixed together makes the Bulletproof coffee recipe, obviously. So what I want to do is try and actually make that into an actual product that you can sell on health shops as well. And so that's more of my own venture, but I want to see how that goes. And I'll also speak to my dad as well, because he's obviously involved in the coffee business of his own. And then of course my job as well, working at a cafe, they have a lot of coffee reps come in. And then obviously we've got our coffee rep, so I want to see if I can talk to them. So a lot of networking to do, and that's probably the main focus. But with that said, that's pretty much the roadmap for the next few days, and even just towards the end of the year, just establishing that network and making some progress on the business to make sure that stuff goes pretty smoothly. But I'm getting tired, and I've got some stuff to do inside, so I'm just going to send some of those emails and just do a bit of mind study. And then I'll probably go to bed. But yeah, with that said, that's all for today, and you'll probably hear from me tomorrow. Well, you will hear from me tomorrow, but yeah, that's all.